Hi, and welcome to the Let Go Movement podcast. My name is Akeisha, your host. Being able to spot misalignment early is a powerful tool for staying in flow with that intuitive connection and your creativity. When we start to understand when we are off track or something's no longer aligned with us, we begin to powerfully make choices for our highest good and creation of this beautiful life that you're creating. So, if you've ever felt like something is just off but can't quite put your finger on it, or perhaps you keep seeing a pattern reoccurring or a feeling that keeps being triggered around a certain scenario or conversation, maybe you get a sense that you're always procrastinating or stuck in searching for the next thing to fix something. These are all amazing awarenesses. And I want to congratulate you right now in just noticing those things coming up for you. This is an opportunity where we get to ask, you guessed it, more questions to begin to uncover if misalignment is at play and how to navigate through it. When you begin to be aware of misalignments without judgment and start to observe them as information, you can keep attracting what's meant for you, keep going in direction of that intuitive guidance and that creative flow so that you therefore continue to connect with, trust, follow those nudges, that inner guidance, and those messages from the universe. In the next episode, we are going to touch on some amazing techniques that are going to deepen the facilitation of all of this. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, press that button, click that little bell, and also consider joining the email community so you don't miss that conversation and any other conversations that I put out. So today I'm going to go over 4 common misalignment categories. Now, everything I bring up, we're going to remember to ask questions. I think a big part of connecting to your intuition, releasing that creative flow, and really understanding what's at play for you, what your yeses and nos are, what's aligned with you, what's not aligned with you, is really based in constantly asking questions. Because here's where we don't get trapped in conclusion and over analytics. When we're asking questions, the flow keeps moving. And being misaligned isn't always a bad thing either. This gives you information. This tells you, yes, keep going, or actually, this is a no, or there's not enough information here, or it's time to make a really big shift. Being misaligned or a little bit incongruent is information. And again, like I said, without judgment, gives you a powerful tool to start asking more questions and make different choices. So information awareness is the game here. So the first category of misalignment is physical symptoms, tension, fatigue, other discomforts that can be created in the body. And this all indicates an energetic misalignment or incongruency. Like I talked in a previous episode, bodies are talking to us all the time. We can have stress in our life, and our bodies will start to manifest that stress in our life in certain ways. You know, stress is linked to so many things, if not everything, of dis-ease in the world. And that is the body trying to talk to you. So when you have constant fatigue, are you expending your energy somewhere where you don't actually need to expend it? Is it actually congruent for you to say yes or no to certain conversations so that you're not leaving those conversations with a sore stomach or a sore back or, confusion and tension in the head? Body symptoms, physical symptoms are great indicators of something is not aligned. It can also, and I do need to preface this, that when we get sick after doing a really big alignment shift, it is the body processing also the release of energies that are no longer in service to you. But being sick constantly, you do want to look at it. You do want to look at your tension that keeps coming up, and you want to look at the scenarios that you kind of keep putting yourself in. Is there something you can do to alleviate this from occurring as a pattern or occurring if at all? Overextending yourself is a really common example. That is a misalignment, right? Another one is emotional signals. So when we're irritable or confused or low moods, these can be signs that we're also not synced up with where we need to be, who we need to be, what we need to be doing. So whatever is going on for you in these emotions that pop up could indicate that it's really a no for you, or that more information is required so that you can commit. So if you're feeling a little confused, it's not a bad thing. It just means, yeah, some questions need to be asked here, some information needs to be required, and maybe some conversations need to happen before it does feel light. It could also mean that you aren't in your zone of genius, that you're not actually living out the way you're supposed to live out. And I reference like human design here. When we're not in alignment with our design, we can be irritable, confused, angry, frustrated. And then we kind of use that as blocks against what we know we want to do, or what we are getting the nudges to do. And when we do work with those nudges, and when we do go with those nudges, things get lighter. We're happy. We're feeling fulfilled. We are not feeling like that we're overextending ourselves, because it's actually the energy of being in that zone of genius is almost fills your cup up for you. So the emotional signals can tell you where you're not aligned. Emotional signals also can give so much information to what emotions actually do need to be processed around any one given thing. Emotions are or trapped emotions, and you can read or listen more about this in the emotion code episode. But emotions, when they're not processed, get stuck in the meridian lines, get stuck in the organs, get stuck in the body, get stuck in the energy field. And that then can create a lot of incongruency in the body, and then it can manifest physically in the body. So when we're having physical manifestations of something, it's really great to then go look at the emotions that could be and are clogging the system to fully be flowing freely with the energy. And therefore, that physical ailment can either decrease or leave the body. Another form of misalignment is second guessing yourself, overthinking, feeling really disconnected from your inner guidance. If this is constantly coming up for you, you want to get curious as to maybe there's, those common blocks. The fear, is there self-doubt? Is there a program or a belief at play here? And if we're kind of like humming and hawing, we need to tap into the intuition and start to investigate what those yeses and nos are. And this is a really great way to practice that yes, no with yourself, because if it's a no, it doesn't mean that it's not going to be a yes. But right now, the decision is a no, and then you can start to ask more questions. So another misalignment category is feeling stuck or blocked in our creativity. Like things aren't flowing. You're having a writer's block. You're not being creative. Your solution finding feels stuck. You're more, here's an emotional, irritable, and therefore the solutions aren't coming through to you. When ideas don't flow, when solutions aren't happening, when you're not feeling creative, this is a sign that you're misaligned and realignment is needed. And this could be that, emotional baggage is in the way. Like we've mentioned before, we're not fully in the path we want to be. So maybe we're like kind of teetering two things, and that teetering is confusing. So when you just step into one, you're going to get a clear yes, no. And that's going to help clear the path. You aren't showing up maybe the way that you need to. So maybe you feel like you can't show up the way that you want to. So again, you're feeling kind of stifled or stuck, or, you're not expressing yourself the way that you want to. That's your creative flow being blocked. What if the direction of a topic is off? When the direction of a topic isn't fully in line with you, you're going to feel like the creativity is just not there, because it's literally not a direct flow. There's like rocks in the way. There's barriers, there's dams, there's a hill to climb up. Your intuition just wants to flow through you. And yes, resistance might be popping up because that's an opportunity for you to get clearer on something. But if you're feeling like there's just no go here, like I just cannot think of anything, that's probably a sign that you need to start asking some questions. And then through that question, it's like linking up the chains, and then all of a sudden everything links and the creativity will flow. And it might also mean you just got some energy to move. Maybe you got to clear some gunk in your world. Maybe you got to move your body. Maybe you just got to declutter energetically what's going on in life. Maybe you need to shift things up and create a little chaos to move some energy to get the creative spark going again. to align up all those openings so that the funnel just goes click, 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 click. And then it's just a straight shoot for your intuition to flow through you, your creativity to flow through you. So those are 4 kind of categories of misalignment. And again, shifting out of them involves asking questions. The more comfortable we get with these little misalignment moments and the understanding of them and the questions we can ask to help us realign, the faster this process is going to be, the less scary it's going to be, the maybe less dips in life you're going to experience, and you can be more on that neutral, observational kind of flow pattern. And the more creation you're going to create in your life, and the more connected to your life you're going to be, and the more trusting of all this information coming into your world is going to be. And you can start to begin to trust your knowing. When you start to, like I said, kind of get in love with curiosity, release the judgment of your misalignments, and see it as information. So if you've experienced some of these misalignment signs in life before, comment yes if this resonates with you. And perhaps if you're willing to share maybe which one you struggle with, I can get a sense of maybe where a conversation needs to go a little bit deeper. This is a big part of the work I do with clients when we're working through their incongruencies and their misalignments, to really take an observational, loving perspective of that and work with them and encourage them and support them in choosing what's light for them. And it's amazing when I see clients begin to start to choose what's light and really release the emotional baggage, the incongruencies, starting to ask questions about the conversations, their body changes, their money flows change, the creation of their life, and ultimately the trust within themselves, because this process of kind of being aware of those misalignments and then knowing how to shift into a realignment state is so powerful, because the misalignment is a way of communicating also, but that takes awareness. And when they start to sink into that, it's like that inner confidence starts to really come out, and they really start to be like, you know what, I do have this great relationship with my inner self, my higher self. We are, being led down a really beautiful way, and everything is a gift for us. So it's a really big perspective shift that really creates a lot of joy in someone's life. So this is a big part of the work that I do with people. If you're ready to dive deeper and shift what might be holding you back, whether it's something physical, emotional, or energetic, I invite you to claim a 30-minute session with me. Together, we're going to explore a specific area of your life, identify what's blocking your progress, offer ways to continue clearing those barriers so that you can move forward feeling lighter, more aligned, and empowered. Just click the link below to book your session. Now, these conversations have been so much fun to share over the last few episodes, the core of you, how to unlock your intuition and create a flow. And I'm going to share with you in the next episode techniques to realign and open up that guidance and communication and create a flow even more.